Welcome to the show, Migdalia Van Der Hoven, a Mexican-British drummer renowned for your genre-spanning talent in jazz, funk, Latin, pop, and musical theatre. Berklee graduate and UK ambassador for women in jazz media, you've performed across the West End and toured internationally in Six the Musical, Little Shop of Horrors, and Operation Mincemeat, to name just a few. Your quartet's releases Girl Facing South and Point of Departure, which was recorded at Abbey Road, have earned praise from Grammy winners. In 2022, you were honoured as Mexico's Woman of the Year, breaking ground as the first female Mexican drummer at several major UK jazz festivals. There is a lot of stuff to talk about with you, Migdalia. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, and please do tell us more.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to meet you and to chat with you today. I moved to the UK from Boston, but when I finished Berklee, I moved to London, and it was. I mean, I had to wait a little bit in order to get my career going with all the immigration stuff, and I had to get like a 9 to 5 job in order to get all the points in order to get a visa and permanent status and all that. But after a few years, I finally managed, and I think I was in a good place to start or restart my career. And then COVID hit. So I had to wait a little bit longer. But during that time, I actually had a strategy. I built a strategy of putting together everything in one go during that time where everything was closed. So I just took advantage of that time and I recorded, I networked, I set up all my online presence. So my plan was when everything reopens, then I already have everything. Like I felt like I will have an advantage because I'm not just waiting, I'm actually doing something. And I was actually gigging during 2020, doing all these collaborations with all these international people as well, worldwide. It sort of worked. Like people, even though I didn't have a gig before COVID, then people sort of knew who I was just after all the connections I built during that time. And then I started with my jazz sort of background and career, and we built the quartet, and then that sort of snowballed. And right now I'm playing all this other stuff, and obviously keeping my quartet as well. But it has been really, really amazing to achieve that, especially as an international, as a female player as well.
Yeah.
We do social conscious music here, and we're trying to get the young people to write positive lyrical content, lyrics that are not about yourself, right?
Yeah.
But I travel the world teaching young people how to write positive lyrics and stuff like that. Do you like social conscious music?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it does make an impact, especially now, like that I feel like music is just so empty. It's like all these repetitive lyrics that, is just like two chords and people just, I mean, I appreciate, that things are catchy and stuff, but it just means like right now, all of it is effortless and it actually doesn't have any content, any soul, like I always go like, oh yeah, in my time and stuff. It's crazy because people are like, it wasn't long ago, and I'm like, it's longer than you think, but there was meaning and the lyrics. I mean, that's where you, for instance, sing back and you're like, oh, this is a great song, it makes people feel good. But now it's just like, yeah, baby, 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 and that's it, and they earn millions and stuff. So yeah, no, I appreciate that.
So you're from Mexico?
I am from north of Mexico.
I produced an artist from there, Alejandra Guzman.
Oh, I love her. Yeah. She's proper like sort of 80s kind of vibe. I actually, for some reason, like Facebook just dropped a video this morning of her like singing all this like rocky stuff. It's quite interesting, all of that, because obviously I grew up with all those artists, and there's another artist called Gloria Trevi. And it's funny because at the time I was a kid, so I wouldn't know, but they would hire like all these California-based sort of musicians like Vinny Colaiuta and stuff. So I was singing all these songs and I would just love the music. And now looking back at all those albums, like I can see the names and I'm like, these were great musicians. This was great music, And I would just, I didn't know. It's like the same thing with Alejandro Sanz and like Luis Miguel, artists like that, like they just have amazing bands. And very early on, like I would just, obviously focus on the lyrics and what we're singing, but also the music, like really like the groove and stuff really had an impact and actually like developed my playing without even knowing at the time that I was going to be a drummer.
So you living here in London?
Yeah. I've been in London for the last 13 years.
Wow.
I actually went to LA to live there for a year. I'm married to a South African who wants to do film music, so we went there to try a little bit, and I just miss London.
As a drummer, how do you personally differentiate your styles? Is it by the type of drum that you would use depending on the type of music? Because obviously you span, as I said earlier, you span so many different types of music. Is that mainly down to the types of rhythm that you would use, or the type of drum, or both? Or how is it kind of different for yourself from one type of music to another? Is there a defined different way of playing?
I think it's a mix of everything. Like obviously, for instance, if you go like to the type of drum kit that you use, that's actually very helpful. But I don't always have that luxury of like either bringing my own drum kit or actually rocking up to the place and they have like a jazz bebop kit, to play like swing and stuff. So I mean, when it's up to me, I do have the gear. I do it, and it actually makes it easier because of the sound. And for instance, if you want a vintage sound, like for certain gigs, but sometimes you just have to work with what you have. And I think it's just that, just knowing who you're playing with, because obviously they sometimes make it easier if they're on the same page, and also they can groove. I think it's all about that. And it's also what's expected from you. Like, for instance, if you go to a jazz gig, you can improvise a lot, you can have a lot of fun, the vocab, the language, you know what to do when like trading four solos, swing or just like straight ahead jazz or anything like that. But for instance, if I do a musical theater gig, pretty much all of that is outside the window. They just want you to play, obviously, with soul and grace and groove, but they want you to play what's on the page, exactly what's on the page. There's no like adding
improvisation
things
or anything. Yeah.
Exactly. Sometimes it's actually frowned upon, but sometimes it's accepted. It just depends who you're dealing with. And I think the more that you play with people and the more you know people, you know what they're also expecting from you. So, for instance, with classical music, is more actually like I do think that they like my playing because it's not squared, or it's not, it's a little bit more groovy, a little bit more surprising, than whatever they're giving me to play. So yeah, it's just about being versatile and adapting, and pretty much respecting as well who you're playing with, and just have the ears to be able to sort of read the room, if that makes sense.
All right. Thank you.
How much do you love music?
Oh, I mean, I live out of music, so I love what I do. I actually love, the moment, like the moment I sit down, even though I'm tired or whatever, I do feel music has like this healing power in all areas, physical, spiritual, like mentally, all of it, where you can connect, and there's always a purpose in music. It just depends what it is for, who is for, and yeah, I absolutely love music. I love what I do. I'm very grateful. When I started the show, I mentioned sort of a bit of my journey. I do feel it was 100% worth it, like the wait and the patience, in order to do what I do now, because one, I can appreciate it more, and two, like I'm in a place where I'm mature enough, to appreciate what I do instead of just messing around, or like, I just go and, do what I have to do. Obviously, I have a family to mind. So I feel like I appreciate it even more, and that gives me like, I don't know, like a sense of confidence. And also I feel really like fulfilled with what I do and what I have achieved so far through music. So I'm very grateful.
Music is emotion. You know what I mean? And it can make you feel many ways. It can heal you, can educate you, it can solve problems. You know what I mean? And it's all about finding the right instruments for each thing. Like, if it's strings, if you're crying, it's strings, right? if it's a sexy part, they play saxophone. You know, there's certain instruments that bring emotion too as well. My sister, thank you for the privilege of your time today.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, and yeah, so glad that we made it work, and it's a pleasure to meet you both, and I'll be sending you the Mexican restaurants.
Oh, please. Oh man, I'm gonna tell them you sent me too.
Definitely do.
Yeah, ask them for a discount. You know, you tell them like, I know this crazy Mexican drummer. You know.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Hey, listen, Tom's going to get all your information so we can pass on the love and get it to our fans. And you know, once we get this segment right here, we'll get it to you. Okay?
Amazing. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, we just want to know, really, for our viewers, what we'll do is put the links in the description of the video here. If you can give us any of your sort of social media handles and maybe a website or anything you've got that we can go off and check out what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all at Migdalia Van Der Hoven. I know it's a bit long, but it's Migdalia, and then Van Der Hoven. As it sounds. So
no worries.
Amazing.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, I'll put those links.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So thanks.
Thank you both.
Yeah.
Have a lovely evening.
You too.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.